So it's been a little while. Another one take, and this time we're taking a look at the Henri. I'm going to play 2 matches today and just see what happens. The goal is to show you a more real look at these ships that I end up playing, since a lot of times on YouTube my videos end up being the absolute best games that I have in a session, where I don't really show the bad games since I don't think they're as entertaining or as good at making a point if I'm trying to explain something in a video. Here though, I want to show a ship for what I think you're just going to get in a normal match. So this is the build that I'm running on the Henri right now. It's a damage output build with a side of concealment. I don't really like giving up all concealment, but I will say the build is quite nice when you do, since anytime you're able to shoot at something, you are then getting the bonus out of top grade gunner. So anytime someone is detected within your detection range, you get an 8% reload boost, which is pretty good when you stack that with Henri's legendary upgrade, which gives you more range, better reload at the cost of worse detection. But with worse detection, we're going to be activating top grade gunner more often. Of course, we're taking reload alongside this since we're getting extra range with improved main battery loading times. So it's a damage output build. We're sacrificing a ton of concealment. Of course, we're taking propulsion mod, aiming systems mod, since Henri can struggle with its accuracy sometimes, engine boost to get the most out of that, and of course, we're trying to keep our main armaments alive. Henri is a ship that had a buff recently. It initially had the longest acceleration time out of any ship in the game, I believe. It took forever for this ship to reach full speed, and that was a massive nerf to this ship because it was so difficult to deal with when it had a normal acceleration pattern. It was one of the worst ships to fight as a battleship at long range. I have a lot of experience trying to hit those ships and failing miserably. So it was a nice nerf, but it might have gone a little too far. On the other hand, though, Henri still has some of the best guns at tier 10. The damage output's insane, the fire chance, the reload booster, it's just really, really good. And of course, that's just the HE. If you swap to the AP, you're going to get some insane damage output as well, assuming you catch some broadsides. The AP is basically Moskva AP. It doesn't have the shell velocity, but the pen is there, and so is the damage output. So we might be swapping to that soon, and that's why I'm running Expert Loader as well. It's something that I like to speculate on, I guess, hoping that some cruiser is going to go broadside to me. This match, we have quite a few cruisers, so we're going to try and make use of that. Although the bread and butter, of course, is just going to be the HE. Let me just get my map back to normal here, so it's not looking so cluttered. I do really like this mini-map mod. It gives so much information, but can be a little cluttered at times, so it's good to get rid of some of this stuff. There, that's looking a little better. Now, of course, we're not going to want to hang out in the middle of the map. It's really difficult when there's battleships that just overmatch you. Henri has 30 millimeters of armor, and that's going to struggle against every single one of their battleships, the Republic, Preußen, and Shikishima. So when I see that, I know I'm going to need to go to the side of the map, or at least get myself into a position where I'm not going to be facing multiple people at many different angles. The other thing I want to be doing, of course, in a ship like this, I want to be in a position where if I get in trouble, when I turn away, let's say I need to turn out, turn away, run away, that kind of thing, I don't want to have to show more broadside while I'm turning away to more ships. So if I were to just come in here and position myself bow in, and let's say I got myself into trouble and I needed to turn away, and there's enemy ships here and I'm positioned bow in like this, well, if I'm turning, I'm just going to show more broadside to these guys before I actually do get safe. So that's where you're going to want to position yourself so you're more angled to these guys, and you're always going to want to try and pick off the targets that are the farthest towards the edge of the enemy formation. So that right now looks like the Republic. So that means I can angle up this way and give the least amount of broadside to the least amount of ships. It's really Not that complicated. I'm just making it a little bit tricky in my explanation here live as we're playing this. Of course, the fire chance is very, very nice. If we see that Republic again, he has damage controlled, so I might actually just pop my reload booster. If we end up seeing him, and we do. Alrighty. This is, of course, one of the big powers of the Henri, is the ability to relight fires with this reload booster. I am not leading enough, unfortunately, but maybe that means we're going to get some rear fires. Preussen gets a salvo into us, and there's that overmatch. Yeah, it's not as fun to deal with. Unfortunately, no fires, but I would say my aim is not amazing. I haven't played Henri in a very long time, so we're going to see my aim get a little bit better as we go along here. But this is what I'm talking about here. I'm showing very little angle to the Preussen, and if anything, you know, gets remotely close to hurting us, we're definitely going to turn away, and that way we're not showing much broadside to anybody up here. We don't know really if anybody's flanking super hard. The Hindenburg's going a little bit, but not too bad right now. This Republic is going to die. He pushed in way too quick. This is the bread and butter of the Henri. It's killing these battleships as they push in. It's very, very, very good at that. Preussen tries to hit us again. Maybe that was something else, actually. This could be... Yeah, that was the Preussen shot, because it overmatched. Overmatch hurts, so I'm going to need to do a little better job of dodging. The problem with Preussen is it has such bad dispersion that we're actually going to have a very tough time dodging all of his salvo. There's a fire. He's got fire prevention, so he's less likely to damage con anytime soon. Yeah, he's kind of just crushing me here. The whole going at slow speed is not working for me here. But I don't know if fast speed would really do anything either. Oh, Henri. Go broadside, my friend. I'm not going to use my booster. Oh, I'm sorry, Shikushima. I was not looking where I was going. I'm going to use it for this, though. Hopefully we're going to get some citadels here. No, what a waste. Should have held it. Still some okay damage, but it could have been a lot better if I had timed that out a little bit more intelligently. We get a lot of boosters, right? We still have 3 left, and I've used 2, so it's not like we're struggling for damage output. I just like to get the most value out of them possible. Here's where export loader's nice. Oh, we even got ourselves a extra little gimmicky fire on the Preussen as we blind shade at him. I don't know where to go here. We have AP loaded, but Preussen shot us, but I think our acceleration is so good now. Here's the improved acceleration with speed boost, obviously, but that's the Henri I remember. That's the good old Henri where people are struggling to hit you because you just accelerate out from under their shells. That's not going to be worth shooting at again. Okay damage. Nothing fancy, but okay. Preussen shot someone else, so we're okay to push here a little bit. Ooh, we're turning into these torps. I really wanted to turn out here. Might have made a big mistake here. Hopefully not. Just one, and it's Smalin torps. Those shouldn't hurt too bad. Yeah. We're okay. I don't think this Preussen likes me very much. Fair enough, though. I tend to shoot at Henris a lot, too, to try and make their life harder, since they are very annoying to deal with. Napoli is one that we're going to have a really tough time actually doing a bunch of damage to because he has so much armor. If I took IFHE, which is a valid strategy if you're dealing with a lot of 50mm plating, Henri, of course, pens 38, I think is the main armor value. The HE actually pens somewhere in the 40 range, I believe. But the main armor threshold that it crosses is the 38 millimeters on the American battleships. And if you take IFHE, though, you're going to pass 50 millimeters, which is really, really good against the German battleships, against Russian heavy cruisers, that kind of thing. But it's not always going to be that useful, especially in random battles, where you're probably going to be facing stuff that doesn't have 50 millimeter plating, and sacrificing so much fire chance really isn't worth it. You know, we got 24% right now. I don't know how greedy to get for damage here. We're winning by quite a lot, but if I just push into a Preußen, probably going to have a bad time. So might just angle ourselves away and maybe head down towards the southern side of the map. Get our speed boost up soon, hopefully. You know, I'm not expecting this Preußen to push in because, well, look what happened to the Republic. I don't think it's very reasonable to think battleships are just going to push all the time. It's very nice, though. And in fact, he's going in. So we're going to make use of that. We're already up to 100k, which is pretty solid, actually, for Henri. But we can definitely get a lot more this match. 6k from the HE. See, even without IFHE, most battleships have such massive superstructures that, you know, you're fine. You don't really need the extra. You don't need the extra damage output, in my opinion. At least in random battles. We should be quick enough to... no, that's going to catch us. But we're angled reasonably well, so it's probably not going to citadel us. Dude, I'm telling you, I've had the worst time in Preußen because it just doesn't hit anything. Oh, man. Can I have this guy's Preußen? Overmatch, man. It's one of those things that I just... You can't really live without it, because if I was just able to auto-bounce this Preußen for free, then, I mean, what's he going to do? Nothing. He's just going to die. But at the same time, it feels really bad when I angle and I take a huge hit like that. It feels so bad. And we're not getting fires on this guy. Sometimes RNG is just fun. World of Warships. Everybody knows how that enjoyful that is. Wow. Can't even talk. It's been a long time since I've done one of these live where I can't go back and edit this. Everybody knows the joys of RNG. That's what I'm trying to say. It's frustrating for everyone. So I'm sure that Republic didn't enjoy getting lit on fire multiple times by me, so I suppose it comes around and goes around relatively equally. I wish it just wasn't quite so RNG heavy this game. I would like a little more skill-based, but that's probably not their intention with such an arcadey game. I should look somewhere else if I'm wanting more skill-based stuff. Oh, wow. That was... torpedoes gone instantly. You can accelerate hard? You are. Alright. We caught the small end a little bit. You can see how rough our dispersion can be at times. Man, so close. I was waiting for that Chikushima to shoot, so we got that through. I'm hopeful that I can get to this island before he reloads. The thing about Chikushima is you can't actually get a full turn in between his reloads. It's much like Republic in that way, where it's just really difficult to deal with, which is why I went so hard for this island here. And I'm hoping he can't sneak that through. And he had a tough time with it. So, fair enough. I'm going to use... I shouldn't have used my heal. I thought I had 2 left. That was dumb. This is my first game of the day, so... Maybe I should have done a warm-up game. But, hey, mistakes happen. That's maybe good to show that everybody makes mistakes, right? And you could still have decent games. This one was just a bit of a blowout, so... It's hard to farm a ton of damage when your team does this well. Which, you know, is not the end of the world. It's nice to win games. Yikes, look at that dispersion. There's got to be some issues, man. There's no way that that's real Henri dispersion. That's worse than battleship dispersion. I've been noticing some really horrific dispersion, even in co-op games. I recently went and played a bunch of co-op games to farm out some Research Bureau stuff, since you can get your rewards from resetting a line by winning a game in co-op battles as well. So I was doing that, and the bots were having the worst dispersion against me, even at really close range, because I was playing destroyers, since the Harugumo line is the cheapest one to reset, and it was ridiculous. They were missing from 5 kilometers on either side of my ship. It's like one turret would go half a kilometer left, and the other turret would go half a kilometer right. It was ridiculous. I think, I don't know. It seems a little odd that this game has such poor ability to deal with the game. This is a very slow-paced game. I'm sure you guys have noticed the shells disappearing, that kind of thing, issues like that, and it's just weird to me how slow this game is, and yet it still has issues keeping up with the pace of this game. It's really, really, really interesting. I wish there was a little more investment into servers and that kind of thing, but maybe it's the old game engine that this game is based on that can't be improved in some way. I don't know. I'm not the one who coded this game. I just know that there's some serious, serious issues with it. But 150k, honestly, that's pretty decent. I'm okay with that for a first match, especially since there were only 3 battleships. Let's be honest, that's not very many. Normally, you're going to have... Well, I guess on NA, we've had a lot of games, a lot of times where we have 3 battleships. People seem to not want to play them. I know on EU, I've seen and heard from you guys that there's just always 5 battleships every game, which would be glorious. But here, they don't seem to exist as much. You'll notice once my health was low and I didn't have a lot of heals left, I just played it safe behind an island. That's always something you can do. There's a lot of good things that come from having heals, and one of them is that you can play so aggressive in the early game and always recover some HP later on. That's why I don't really like playing low-tier cruisers. They don't have that opportunity to heal back and play aggressive early game, whereas the high-tier cruisers do, and we definitely took some advantage of that. I probably didn't farm as efficiently as I could have, but hey, we won this match and got up to 150, which is pretty solid. Not the best, but pretty solid for this ship. It certainly can farm a lot more. Some friends of mine have tried to leaderboard this ship, trying to get on the WoW's numbers leaderboards for damage. I think they're somewhere in the 170, 180k average, which of course is not reasonable to expect for most people, myself included. These guys are really, really good at this ship, but it is possible, or at least it was. And the gunpowder on Henri is still immense. It's very, very strong. And with this the acceleration buff that happened last patch, I want to say, maybe 2 patches ago. I saw it briefly in the patch notes a little while ago. It does make this ship much more comfortable to play. And as you saw, that price end was still very much able to punish me. So maybe someone who's better at dodging than me would definitely be able to abuse this ship again. But for myself, and I think for most people, it's just going to be a little more comfortable to play. The acceleration's still not average cruiser level. It's still worse than most of the other cruisers. I think every other cruiser at tier 10 has better acceleration than this ship does, but running the prop mod as well as having speed boost tends to make up for that. And with that new acceleration buff, I think when you have speed boost up, you can play similarly aggressively as you used to be able to. Maybe not quite as much, not the tanking every... tanking like 4 battleships shooting at you at once, that kind of thing. This could be bad. What battleships do they have? Yamato could hurt if he's over here. Yep. There's Yamato. Or that could be GK, actually. So Holland's got really good AA, so I don't really want to pop my defensive fire. I'm going to save mine. Yeah. Huge thanks, Holland. Oh, it was the Yamato. Yeah, so we got to be a little careful of him. So he actually looks like he's going to play very passive. So am I, to be fair. You know, I'm not complaining he's going to play passive. They kind of You kind of have to these days, because if you push in, you take a lot of damage. Yeah, 5,500 and a fire into the Salem. Of course, Salem can heal, but it's a lot of damage. Just gonna slowly reverse in and see if we can't get into range of this Yamato. Oh, and the Kerr first is coming here too. Beautiful. Yamato's just gonna shoot at me, I think. Yeah. Okay, so he's shooting for me to go forward. I think. Up our speed boost, angle a little bit. Overmatch is fun. Of course. Come on, get me in range. No, he's not spotted. And I'm gonna stay lit. Feels bad, man. All right. Come on, Henri. Accelerate. Oh, I did it. Nice. Look at that dispersion. That is horrible. That is horrible dispersion. How is that even possible? I have dispersion mod, don't I? All right, time to get out of here. There's some serious firepower over here. Don't want to get too cute with it and lose all my HP again. Although, if this Zhao wants to go broadside, won't mind. That's GK, that's not a huge deal. Spotting. Let's see, is this Yamato coming forward? You can always check with Torps what somebody's up to. Oh, it's so close to being in range. There we go. See, we already have actually nearly 700,000 potential damage, so people definitely want to kill this thing. You gonna turn out? You are. All right, AP, please. Don't let me down. Oh, he goes undetected. No. Is Kitakazi there? I probably was too greedy for that shot. The spotting's been a little bit not amazing. I'll use the booster there. I need to help my Holland out. Alright, we should trade. Nice. Reload booster is very, very good. It's amazing on Bourgogne, and of course it's amazing on Henri as well. Now, it's going to be very important for me to turn my turrets. It's an issue with Henri, is it does have very slow turrets, especially when you take reload. So I'm going to turn my turrets because I don't want to be fighting someone here, right? I'm assuming I'm going to have to end up fighting someone here. And if I'm showing, you know, if I'm at this angle and I'm having to fight someone there, I'm showing more broadside to this Yamato back here. Whereas if I'm this way and I have my guns this way, then I'm showing less angle to the Yamato. So I'm always trying to keep this sort of thing in mind. Like, what am I exposing my ship to? The big thing, of course, also is the Unicum that's here too. It's not just the Yamato. I want to be angled to potential Unicum torps, because those can hurt. I think we all know what happens when a Japanese destroyer gets a hold of you with a few torps. It's not pretty. You gonna turn out? Maybe. It's hard to lead these shells at range. I'm not very good with them at range. That's where something like Moskva is a lot easier to make use of at longer ranges. Zhao's hurt a lot. So now I am opening myself up to all these guys, so we do have to be a little careful. So I'm going to constantly be scanning here. This is where my eyes are. Couple hits, nothing crazy. It's unfortunate we don't have much spotting, but it's probably my own fault for not helping my Holland a little sooner on the Kitakazi, which ended up getting him killed. And our carrier is helping the other side, I guess, so fair enough. just don't want to give up too much ground. We do have a full health. Yep, there's the torpedoes. That's spooky. Oh, that's so spooky. I don't want to give up too much ground, you know, but it's just so hard not to here. Because it's just a DD and a Zao, you know? What do you do against that? Yeah, we need Zao permalit. That's huge. Oh. Oh. Come on, CV. Drop a fighter or something. Maybe the jet ones don't drop fighters. Too bad. I can't keep this guy permalit. Fires help. Wow, he doesn't get lit again. His stealth is really good. I mean, it's a Zao. Of course, his concealment's very nice, but sucks for us trying to hold them back a little bit here. The game is still very close, though, so I'm happy about that. Try and get some damage in on the GK here. I can't push. Like, I would push this Zao. Because, I mean, we kill him right away. Yamato just shot me. I'm hoping my acceleration takes care of that. I didn't aim that enough. I was too focused on this. But yeah, dealing with a Yami shooting at us as well is rough. But I think with the Moskva where he's at, I think I'm going to try and help a little bit at least. And even though he's broadside, I'm still just going to spam HE because he can angle very quickly and negate the AP very well, so yeah, there's another 5k. It's really good. Oh, nice. I got him lit up again. I really want to finish him. Those are the Zao torps. So Yugumo is there. Those actually could be Yugumo torps. Alright, that should finish him. Yamato just shot the Moskva, so I do have room to turn here, assuming the GK doesn't catch us. Which he could. Ah, no, he's pretty slow behind that island, so we're alright. 9-kilometer torps tend not to be the most useful, but in this case, with someone pushing into us. Oh wow, the Yami didn't even shoot at me. His fire is the first one. He actually doesn't have fire prevention, so we're going to try and abuse that to get multiple fires on him. Always trying to hit the DD whenever possible. 3 hits, 2 fires. Pretty good. I have too many reload boosts. I really need to be using them. Alright, we lit the back one. Just get the damage in, you know? Alright, torpedoes are very good on Henri. Oh, that's funny. That's really funny. No, he damage conned. Now I do wish I had my reload booster for a damage con. But hey, we at least got some serious damage into him while we could. And maybe this salvo could get a fire for us if we're lucky. Trying to aim center mass as much as possible here. Oh, did our internet full crash? Come on, save it. Save it. Save it. Oh, nice. So Starlink is the internet provider I'm using. And every once in a while, it will full crash like that. When playing a game, streaming especially is tough with Starlink. But I got a program on my computer now that bonds my Starlink to my phone. And that was this program on the fly swapping my internet over from Starlink to my phone to stabilize that. That's pretty good. I haven't had a crash that bad before. So that definitely would have kicked us out of the game if it would have just been Starlink. So I'm very happy with that program. I hadn't actually experienced one that bad yet. So that worked pretty well. If you're wondering what the program is, it's called Speedify. It sounds gimmicky and cheesy to say, oh, it'll speed up your internet and things. And it's called Speedify. It's like it should be on an infomercial that you should never buy, but This seems to work, man. It seems to work. So if you've got Starlink or bad internet and you need to bond the two together. Not sponsored, actually. I actually wish I was. If somebody from Speedify is watching this, yeah, I'll take a sponsorship. This is a program I actually use and like. There's no shot, though. I don't even know what to do with YouTube sponsorships, man. I'm too new to this. So many YouTubers put them into their videos, and I'm just like, what would I even put in there? You know? I don't even know what I would do. Because I wouldn't want to, like, push something that I don't actually use or believe in or think is good, right? I don't know. Maybe I'm approaching it from the wrong angle, but... No sponsorships for me, I think. For now, it's just cool that you guys watch, and YouTube pays me a little bit of AdSense for now. I'm sure if I wanted to go more serious about this as a full-time career, main job thing, I'd have to look into diversifying revenue, not just relying on Google Ads, but for now, this seems okay to me. 133k, a little less than last time, but I think this was a decent example of kiting. We actually didn't take too much damage. We got pretty lucky. The battleships really didn't shoot at us. But reload booster Henri is great, man. It's a really strong ship, and with this acceleration buff, upgrade, whatever you want to call it, it's still worse than it used to be, but it's much, much better. Much better. And if you haven't played Henri in a while, the guns are still exactly as good as they were before. It's just the acceleration is not back to what it was, but it is better. As you can see, with me having 2 reload boosters left, I don't use them often enough. I struggle with that on the Bourgogne, too, is maximizing the reload boosters. I tend to try and save them for the perfect moment, and that's never really going to happen. So it's better to just use them. Henri's a good ship, man. It really is. If you're thinking of grinding it, it's pretty one-dimensional. So I don't think it should be your first cruiser you grind. It's not very utilitarian for the team. It's pretty selfish in farming damage. And to have a high battle impact, you essentially just need to get a lot of damage. That's its battle impact. So you're not going to be that Des Moines radar ship or that kind of thing. In this case, we did kill some destroyers, but that's only because our Holland got into a fight relatively close to us. And let's be honest, that Kitakazi grounding in front of our reload booster helped out a lot. So 141, though, we got up to with 3 kills in that one. Henri's great. I think that, you know, it's not as OP crazy like it used to be, but with this acceleration update, it is much, much better, and certainly worth playing again if you haven't been playing it since its heavy nerf. It was really, really, really bad before. So this somewhat comeback, I think, is a decent spot. But let me know what you think of Henri these days, especially with this acceleration change. But yeah, thank you very much for watching, guys. I really do appreciate it. Hope you have a great rest of your day.